A warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining this series of webinars that gives you with skills and insights and energy to lead at your very best in this crisis. Much gratitude, as always, for our very loyal participants in New Zealand, where it's 9 p.m., and in the Americas, where it can be as early as 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in some other countries. So we're so grateful and honored that you make that special effort. Today, as we talk about new ways of working and make them the most productive and enjoyable we can, we're going to experiment and we're going to play a lot. I pray that our experiments and our games are going to work, and we're going to have the privilege of an interview with Miss Isabelle Larché, who's joining live from Singapore. Just as we get started, I want to say that we do not just reflect of new ways of working just for now. We also think about the future of work, in fact, and having in mind that keep things changing, and perhaps in a few years' time, we will be working there, perhaps, right? Or perhaps there, or there. Well, your pick really could be there, or there, and who knows, perhaps even there or there, right? So keep in mind, we're going for the future of work and not just what it takes to go through the crisis together, right? Let me try and play a first game with you as we think about where and how we're going to be working in the future. In fact, we think long term and we think short term at the same time, right? And by the way, just wanted to check in with you. Are some of you already working in the Maldives? Because you know, Maldivian Resorts was very smart and offered recently a package where, well, you have to pay almost $24,000 a week, but then they have a most wonderful work from home habitat for you. Now, if you're not in the Maldives, I'm curious to know at the moment where you're working from now. And the choice here for you is, are you back at the office every day? Or is it more like your colleagues and you alternate days at the office and days at home? Or perhaps you work mostly from home, but you show up at the office kind of a few days per month. Or you work from home and you just go to the office for meetings like just 1 day per month. Or you work 100% from home, you never go to the office. So please take a few more seconds and join in so we have an idea about where you are now, right? And we're gonna look at that later as we go through the conversation today. Right, so with this, we're going to move to the next question, if you are ready. And no, just before that, we're gonna show the results. So we've got like 38% of you who are back at the office full time, right? The second category is 100% at home, and that's 23%. And we're going to copy these for you later on, right? And then the third category in size is mostly from home, but going to the office a few days per month. All right. Now, we're going to do something different. I'm just sharing the results so to make sure you can see that. And here we go. We're going to do another experiment to prepare ourselves for the conversation today. And so that's different. And I'm going to invite you to either go, if you work on a computer, to the link menti.com/25runhsog. And Teddy, who is managing the show from the background, is just putting it in the chat box. So you just have to click that link. Now, if you want to use your phone, then you go to your browser on your smartphone, you just open www.menti.com, and then you will see that they ask you to enter the code. And the code is 6532350. Thanks everyone for joining. This is just amazing. So, big tickets here. Flexibility is a word that comes to your mind when you work remotely. Productivity, same size as frustration. Hey, Zoom, lonely. So very interesting. And productivity is gaining size here. So is frustration, Zoom. Yeah, you can have several choice at this, right? And very interestingly as well, we have freedom, lonely again, new perspectives, responsibility, concentration, new perspectives, again, Google Meets, phone calls, long working hours, family bonding. That is fascinating. Solitude, discipline, flexible, coordination, organization, focus, challenge, creativity, discipline. Wow, that is just great. Let's take a screenshot that we'll share with you later on, right? Thanks very much, everyone. Now we move to the next question. And the next question is asking you to evaluate productivity and enjoyment, our discussion topic today, in our new way of working. So my invitation to you is just to place a cursor on each of those 7 statements on the bar. So the first statement is, I feel that my mind is fresher, clearer, sharper. Second statement is, I feel that I have more energy, I'm more productive. Third statement is, I'm more productive when I work from home. I work less hours per day is number 4. And the collaboration of with my team members is better than before. There we come with some results. The collaboration with other teams in the company is better than before. And I enjoy our new way of working more than the way we worked before. Haha, let's give it a few more minutes. And as you can see, we have both the average scores of your input and also an idea of the spread of your answers. So that's pretty cool. Interesting. For now, the winner is, I enjoy our new way of working more than the way we worked before. Although the difference with the first is diminishing. I feel my mind is fresher and clearer and sharper. I'm more productive. Interesting. So collaboration with my team members, collaboration with other teams are not the winners here. And I work less hours per day is definitely not a winner, right? So very interesting. Well, thanks very much. We're going to take a screenshot. And I thank you very much for playing along. And now I'm going to take you a bit further in the presentation. Thanks again. Now I want to share with you a couple of insights from Boston Consultant Group, who did this kind of similar survey, right? With 12,000 people. That's quite a bit of a difference, right? Their conclusions. Productivity is same or higher during this work from home period linked to COVID-19, but collaboration suffers, number 1. Second insight from BCG is socially connected employees collaborate better. And finally, employees aspire to more flexibility about where and when they work. And when I read that, I thought of Netflix, but I'm coming to that in a few seconds. Just before, I want to share with you that Twitter for some time now has sent everybody home and said, you shall not return, right? Fujitsu has also announced a permanent work from home plan. Facebook and Google extend working from home until at least the end of this year. And we'll discuss that in 2 weeks' time, because my guest will be the country director for Google Cloud in Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, right? So we'll hear more about Google in 2 weeks' time. Now, I was telling you, Netflix was the first company to give the freedom to employees to work from home. That was 12 years ago. The payback from employees had to be full responsibility for their work, right? And here on this page, when you receive the slide deck at the end of the program today, you'll have lots of interesting downloads to discover about the very exceptional Netflix culture. Now, the thing is, just a few days ago, Netflix CEO has said, hey, remote working has negative effects. So we are in this twilight zone, right? Where there seems to be pros and cons of the new ways of working. And I am delighted to welcome to the program today Miss Isabelle Larché as our guest speaker. Isabelle is the managing director and co-founder of Timeo-Performance, a global consulting group that works in recruitment and executive search, training and coaching, and HR and business performance. Isabelle is joining us from Singapore. She's an expert, a human performance expert with more than 25 years of experience, of which 10 with 15 actually with Accenture, in fact. And very importantly, Isabelle has built strong and sustainable leadership teams for her clients. So it's a pleasure and it's a privilege to have Isabelle with us today. Isabelle, thank you so very much for joining us today on the program. And I've got lots of questions for you, Isabelle. The first one is, have a very big roster of clients from around the world, right? And basically, they talk a lot with you. How are they doing? How are they feeling? How are the employees doing, you know?
Thank you, Jean-Francois, for the question and the welcome. First time, I'm delighted to be one of your guests, really, thank you. So the main trend that I can highlight probably from our global clients and all those conversations, things which have been shared by most of our clients is that their teams are tired. There is a form of deep fatigue now, a couple of months into the pandemic, includes moral and physical aspects of it. So I'll give you an example. One of the main requests now for our training program is, please, put it some fun. We need some fun. Can we have some fun? Can it be more active? Is there any way we can move around? We can have some games. So this is not something our clients usually ask us, but now they're requesting for more fun and activities, right? So, we realize that these common trends, different reactions, of course, but the common challenges, what we see is that things which are a bit stretched before are just amplified. So I give you a few examples. For example, managers who felt a little bit stretched in their role before are now even less equipped to deal with this new form of management. Another example is communication. You mentioned before, Jean-Francois, but the quality of communication is something which also has been stressed a lot with the distance. It's not obvious for some of us to communicate clearly or nicely or explicitly or implicitly sometime in a written communication, especially when we put the intercultural aspect of it. And we all work globally right now. Intercultural management is even more sensitive and we need to be aware. So conclusion and in short, how our team's going, I think increasing levels of what is known as a toxic stress,
Yeah.
declining performance and productivity. Yes.
Thanks very much, It's so very precious to know, actually. And so we've been working remotely for months now, right? And the big question is, are we really working better that way? And are organizations better off?
Yeah, good question. Are we working from home or shirking from home, right? This is conversations we have daily right now. So, of course, we have our own observations with our clients. I also have been reading a lot of studies. So let me summarize them for you. And to make a long story short, as you mentioned a bit earlier also, Jean-Francois, everything that is formalized is tele-robust. Everything that is informal is tele-fragile. That's what we've seen everywhere, all around the world. So well-defined individual tasks. That's why you mentioned, some productivity has increased. Yes, we've seen, for example, we have clients who are operating call center. Tasks in call centers, 20% increase in productivity, right? No more commuting, no more disruption with the coffee machine or chit chat, less sick leaves, interestingly, so more productivity. But everything which is around collaboration, as you mentioned also earlier, collective work, collaboration is less obvious. And this is where the productivity usually fails, right? So execution also of existing projects is doing well. But anytime you need to go through new project, or creativity, innovation is suffering from long distance, for sure. Also social ties, you mentioned, of course, existing ones are okay. We manage to maintain them to those video calls, chit chats, coffee, virtual coffee and everything. But for new, social capital is not renewed. So for new people joining, for example, onboarding, I had the example yesterday with one of our clients. We have just recruited a manager for one of our clients. They have to onboard this person at a distance. And this is where we've seen the collapsing of the whole process because it was not robust enough, right? So yeah, this is what's happening.
Yeah, thanks very much, Isabelle. So good to know. And I'm thinking, do you have in mind some good practice, perhaps very practical things, that some of your clients have developed over this challenging period that help make the best from our new ways or their new ways of working?
Yeah, thank you sure. Hopefully, yes, I do have a few, and I'd be happy to share them with you, of course. So among our clients, the one who have been successful transitioning to these new ways of working are the one who are completely reinventing the way they work. So not just replicating the way you work in the office to the same way of working at home with just different tools, reinventing completely the way they're working. So for example, very ground-based, super important is to have a team operating system. A system in which explicitly you define new ways of working together remotely. For example, what about lunch break? Am I allowed to drop Skype's, WhatsApp, whatever interruptive things in your own home space during lunchtime? What are the rules around this? So this is an example. We have a lot. So team operating system, which defines clear ways, rules of the games, right? My favorite ones, number 2 and 3, check-in, check-out. We have adopted it here at Timeo also, and I don't think we're gonna stop. Check-in, morning check-in, short, light, everyone together. So when I say everyone, it's all teams regionally. We have office in Hong Kong, Malaysia and Singapore. So we all really gather together, which we couldn't do face-to-face. So that's a good thing, right? We gather and we share information. We share what's going to happen today. We share something we learned yesterday, which it can be really business and professional. It can be more personal, new recipe, anything. Sometimes we have external guests, which makes it even more valuable and exciting. Or we have someone from the team who have passion. For example, we have a lot of people in our team dedicated to sustainability. So they have presented a few projects around this. So really a space where we bond, where we make sure that we are still working on a common project, right? We are still togetherness. Check out on the other side, check out at the end of the day. WhatsApp, just on the WhatsApp group. This one is give visibility, so achievements of the day, if I had any roadblocks, if I have any work in progress I want to share. Of course, it's a bit like journalism, or journaling. I'm sorry, journaling, when you write down your journal at the end of the day. Self-esteem, sense of achievement, proudness, and of course, celebration. So this is a huge, small little tool with a great impact on building trust, maintaining trust, fostering trust in these environments. All right. Celebration, tools number 4, celebration. We do celebrate, we need to celebrate even remotely. So for example, at Timeo, we used to have a huge Chinese gong, that we strike when we achieve something we are happy about, new contract, new client, delivery, training, 10 out of 10, happy clients. So we have recorded this gong and we send it through WhatsApp whenever we want to still celebrate. So celebration is still here. Another one which I really strongly recommend, using coaching techniques, it's the kudo cards. So of course this one are paper-based, so it's not easy to send them through my computer here, but hopefully they have moved online and you can use them online. It's called kudos card. Basically what it is a genuine gratefulness card. Thank you, you're awesome, you've been helping me on this project today and we achieved it together, that's wonderful. So positive feedback, that we're all longing for. A very simple.
Yes, just on the website, and it's in the chat box already, so you can get there and see what Isabelle is talking about very concretely. Thanks. So cool, Isabelle. Yeah. Nice. Wow. Hey, that's tons of gifts, Isabelle. Thanks so very much. Thanks. And we're going to be with you in a few minutes for the Q&A, right? Isabelle, thanks so very much. And I'm going to share a few more tips with everyone, and starting with an important statement, actually, just before the tip, which is there is a potential for real benefits from optimized remote working models. And that's another very in-depth research from Boston Consulting Group again, where they've established that it's possible to have 50% up to 40% increase in the productivity for employees with those remote working models, right? Optimized, 40% reduction in absenteeism that Isabelle mentioned, and then also a reduction actually of up to 15% in turnover, right? And then 20% plus potential cost reduction in real estate, of course, office size, for example, right? And resource usage at the office in particular, in fact. So we've got that to go for. And just for your view after today's program, on that page in the slide deck, you will find the list from BCG of the benefits and the drawbacks of remote work. But we don't focus on that page for now. I'd like to rather build on what Isabelle was sharing, right? And give you some concrete things that companies do that help with making the new ways of working productive and enjoyable. So first things are about boosting social connectivity and togetherness. And I'll take examples from up and coming vibrant companies. So GitLab, for example, they have those virtual coffee breaks to simulate the coffee machine talk. And they go a step further. They pair team members up for randomized video calls so that everyone has a chance at random to talk with another guy in the team. I found that quite cool, in fact. So there's no way people are not going to talk with each other. Now, Help Scout, also quite vibrant, a company, is encouraging employees to make video tours of their workspace at home to bring more intimacy, I'd say, in the teamwork, in fact, right? Works well, make video calls more playful by creating a shared vibe for all participants. Like they use games, and we're going to play a game in a couple of minutes actually together. Yeah, Clevertech is another up-and-coming company, and they do online video game session. Some other companies do cinema nights where people watch a movie all together, in fact, right? And that can help connectivity and togetherness across distance. Now, something else I want to say is that a team that plays well together works well together. And my invitation to you is to share in the chat box the cool collaborative tools and team games that you use already, in fact. Make sure when you share in the chat box, you select to all participants, not to panelists, so that everybody can enjoy, right? And my invitation is you copy paste what you see coming up in the chat box as collaborative tools or team games, and then later on you can check which of these tools and games you may like to play with your team. And for me, I'll share just a few that I'm using. The first one is Mentimeter, which we just used in a simple manner with the word cloud we played with at the beginning, and the assessment of various statements where you had the average and the spread of your answers in just an instant, right? Kahoot is a game we're going to play next if things work out well, and it's really fun. And Miro is a visual collaboration software. I'll show you a picture of how it works. We lack time to play this one today. Ignite is a file synchronization and sharing platform, in fact. And there is way more. And I see some comments in the chat box coming up. So by all means, please pay attention. And then I'm going to do an experiment with you and play Kahoot. So I invite you to go to www.kahoot.it on your computer and key in this pin 8751503, or you just go to your browser on your smartphone, you key in that pin and you choose your nickname. one quiz in 2, 3, 1. Second is now, from how many countries have participants joined this series? Number 45. Actually, 9 of you found it. We have an even spread here. You edged your risk. Right? Let's go to the next question. Yes, 45 people joined from 45 countries so far. Let's the scoreboard. So we have Melodic Owl as the winner here with 860 points, because Melodic Owl not only found the good answer, but found it in the minimum time. Congratulations, Melodic Owl. Sorry. And second question, quiz. Which is the title of the next web? So there again, you've edged your bet, and the winning answer is tips for strategic planning to rebound in crisis. That's our topic in 2 weeks' time with the head of Google for Myanmar, for Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam for cloud business. And the winner is Groovy Beer, who has collected 1,575 points. Melodic Owl is at 866. All right. Third question, true or false? Our next guest speaker is April Sridikon, Google Cloud Country Manager. You almost all got it wrong. It's true. We'll be delighted to have Miss April Sridikon from Google Cloud for Thailand, Myanmar, and Vietnam in 2 weeks' time. And the winner here is Beer. Amazing. Now I've got to find a way to stop the music. And here we go. Back to study mode. Thanks very much, everyone, for playing the game. I enjoyed that so very much. And now I'm inviting you, of course, to consider using the same. It's free, right? It did not cost me $1 to play this with you today. Yeah. Now, something that can also be free is the collaborative work platform I mentioned before, Miro, Miro.com, in fact, right? So it enables you to do some brainstorming with Post-its or Kanban framework, build mind maps, lots of cool stuff, right? And I had prepared one for us where we would play with Post-its today. We lack time because there's so much else to say, right? But it's really cool. And then really creative, user-friendly. That's good. That's an idea of how it works, right? Now, there's some great ways also to do a presentation, cool presentation, way better than PowerPoint. And I just want to give one example of software, which is called Genially, and that's at www.genial.ly. And perhaps I can share for just a second an example, in fact, of a presentation I delivered last week, was it? Yeah, last week for an audience in Latin America, in fact, with my colleague, Elena Espinal. And so the slides that we shared, and are they coming up on the screen? Yeah, no, that's because I forgot to share. Then the slide we shared looked like that, with sound, of course, and it was quite something. So yeah, you can kind of wow your audience. You play videos easily. You have a very easy way to make marketing or sales pitch in a really, really beautiful manner, right? And it's easy to build, right? And more and more and more. And I'll stop there, but you can watch a full slide deck when you get the slide deck of this program today. So with no further ado, I'd love to take you to a few more tips quickly. Some of them we alluded to in the past, right? First, nurture intimacy, focus, and momentum in full team meetings, right? And it's really important to have a discipline of full team meetings, typically once a week, preferably on Mondays, where you start by growing intimacy. And then that's going to be like 60, 90 minutes where you discuss progress, plans for the week, raise emerging issues and risk and handle them, remind everyone of where we're going, what the priorities are, and make sure everybody's aligned and pulling in the same direction, right? And like Isabelle mentioned, celebrate small win. There is no too small win to celebrate, right? And cool practices benefit from having appointing a rabbit hole master, you know, one of the guys in the team that's going to be halting an unnecessary discussion when we go into the weeds, right? Basically, a Zen master. And that guy is going to make sure that the team's energy level is at its best. And when it's not, he's going to call it out and say, hey, guys, I sense the energy here is not the best we can come up with, right? We need to do something. What is going to be? Yeah. And then a timekeeper. That's really basic, right? But we need to have someone who will perform the time boxing, right? Hey, just quick reminders in those meetings, make sure we are very clear about why we are doing what we're doing, what the purpose is for the business, right? And also reminder from last time, help everyone, help others play at their best. That's how we become a high-performing team. And don't forget what we said last time, conclude your meetings in a motivating way, right? Important decisions we made, information we shared, and congratulate again a team for a good practice in teamwork. Now, another tip is in this context, and pretty much every time, right? Too many cooks spoil the broth. So it's better to create small ad hoc teams for agile problem solving, right? So there's not too many people involved. So I'd say with those agile teams that focus on solving quickly and well a problem, daily catch-ups of 15 to 30 minutes to review progress since yesterday, plans for the day, raise any issues and blockers, and as well, have a scrum master, right? So that's the guy who is going to keep the team accountable to their commitment to the business, remove any roadblocks, coach and motivate team members, and organize the critical events and meetings, right? So small teams for quick problem, focused problem resolution, and weekly full team meetings. Also, it's really important as we are remote that you increase, I think, your accessibility and maximize transparency. So share your calendars is really something more and more people do, right? And over-communicate just a bit so everyone across the distance is on the same page. It's very basic, but very important not to forget about, right? A quick reminder from last webinar, bi-weekly one-on-one with your team members to have them feel well taken care of, appreciated, and to motivate them, right? And final thing, before we go to the Q&A, pay more attention to employees' mental health and well-being. 29% of employees experience worse overall mental health during COVID-19. That's a study with 12,000 employees around the world from BCG. And you remember when we had the pleasure of having Nanang Chaling, the VP people of Tokopedia in Indonesia, right? He also said so many interesting things about how to take care of employees' mental health and well-being, right? And very innovative ways they develop. If you want, when you get the slide deck, just go back to watch him sharing his wisdom, right? So very important. And with this, we come to the Q&A. And I'm glad, Isabelle, that you come back. And Teddy, I'm very curious. What's coming up in the chat box?
Thank you, Jean-Francois. The first question we have is for Ms. Larché. Ms. Larché, you mentioned that we needed to acquire new competencies to adapt to remote work. Can you give us more details, please?
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you for this question. Yeah, what I mentioned earlier, we need new competencies because these are, again, completely new ways of working. So if I give you an example, something we've all experienced as employees, we've learned to use new tools, right? So remember the first probably Zoom meeting where you could see the kids running around, or half of the room was spending half of the time just trying to connect the earplug or anything, a disaster. So we learn the tools, right? As individuals, we also learn how to use our time, how to organize our priorities, how to learn a few things around our own productivity at work, remote working, right? If we're moving to the manager side of things, it's a completely new set of skills, because how do you recruit at a distance? How do you assess at a distance? How do you give feedback when you don't have this one-on-one, more personal way of doing it? How do you measure performance? We're going back to trust earlier. And this is where, and I think, Jean-Francois, you will not say anything else, this is where the coaching skills are extremely, extremely important to master as a manager. Because this is where you will learn how to care, how to really master all those new tools I just mentioned. If we're looking at the leader side of things, is how to have a vision when you don't even have visibility. So it's really how do you find a common purpose? How do you make sure that everyone is moving towards the same? I've seen the circle of the why, from Simon Sinek in your slide, Jean-Francois, which is one of my favorite. This is all about it. Is how do you really find this why? How do you make sure that everyone understands what this why is when you're all over the place?
Wow, very, very insightful. Thank you, Ms. Larché. The next question we have is for Jean-Francois. Jean-Francois, if we are working mostly remotely, which tips would you recommend we start with?
I'd say, well, first, build intimacy. And second, kind of over-celebrate, right? So build intimacy across distance. And it's been mentioned by Isabelle and me actually before, but it's so important, right? And organizations do it by opening their team meetings with an intimacy moment, right? Where they invite maybe employees to come with their pet, their little dog, their little cat, whatever, right? Or share about a picture that they love, right? Or perhaps talk about the hobby they are passionate about and what it is that make them tick, right? Or perhaps they help others understand how to get the best from them, right? And as you build intimacy, you can go deeper and deeper and have people open up about how others can really, indeed get the best from them and play at best, right? And the second is really straightforward, and we say that so many times, but it's so important, right? Celebrate and celebrate and celebrate to build the confidence that we're gonna prevail in this new way of working. We are already pretty productive, often more than before, and we're making it more and more enjoyable. And this is going to be new, and this is going to be great, in fact. And thanks very much for the question. We ran out of time, and I have to apologize as always for not being great with my time managers. That's really to say the least. I would like to thank Ms. Larché. You've been so very generous and insightful, and wow, the blessing really. So thank you very much, Isabelle.
Thank you, Jean-Francois. Thank you, Teddy.
Yes, thanks, you take care. And thanks very much again. And with this, a quick recap for all of us, and that's reminders of what we've been through. Boost social connectivity and togetherness. A team that plays well together works well together. So use cool team collaborative tools. 3, facilitate collaborative work with easy-to-use online tools and whiteboards. Make fresh, fun, vibrant presentation with, for example, that genial.ly product, super cool. Nurture intimacy and focus and momentum in full team meetings. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Create ad hoc small teams for agile problem solving instead of full team going very slow in problem solving, right? Increase your accessibility, maximize transparency, and bi-weekly one-on-one with your team members, and taking care of their well-being and their motivation. And last but not least at all, pay more attention to employees' mental health and well-being. Teddy has just shared, I think, in the chat box, the link to download the slide deck. And so my invitation, as always, is print it and or put it up in the computer if you're going to go right now to discuss the learning today for you with your team. Yeah. And in forms of conclusion, really, 99% of companies plan to transform in 2020. That's a survey last year from Mercer. Well, guess 100% transform, right? It will never be perfect, but we've got to make it work. And we've got plenty of ideas to make that happen. Now, with this quick update, happy to share with you that my coaching masterclass is going on next week, starting Tuesday, with leaders from 4 continents already having signed up. Join the crowd if you want to take your coaching skills to the next level. And I indicate here, and Teddy in the chat box, how you can get a low price for this. Next, we're going to have Miss April Srivikram, who is the country manager for Google Cloud, Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia. And we're going to talk about how we can rebound strategically for the crisis. And she'll share fantastic tips from her own experience. She's a former McKinsey and has been with Google for some time, and it will be very, very insightful. That's on 1st of October. And then 15th of October, I have the joy to have on the program Mr. Gary Lim, who is the General Manager of Technip FNC Thailand, one of the most inspiring person and manager I've ever met. And this is going to be fantastic to hear him talk about boosting the performance of your subordinates. And then with this, we have the usual 4 e-gifts for you. One from Deloitte, the remote work in the new form. One from PwC, Workforce of the Future, the competing forces shaping 2030. That's really distance, long-term thinking. One from BCG that I've quoted from today about what 12,000 employees have to say about the future of remote work. And finally, from McKinsey, from thinking about the next normal to making it work. With this, I would like to just have one more gift for our HR colleague on the call today. I know there are quite many. It's from Mercer, actually, and it's about their report, The New Shape of Work. Very interesting. Lots of links on that page to access different tools they've put in place. With this, couple of quotes. And the time has come to thank you wholeheartedly for your loyalty to the program. It's a joy to have you on board every 2 weeks. And I look forward to being with you again in 2 weeks' time for tips on strategic planning and how to rebound strategically and successfully in this crisis. Thank you again to Miss Isabelle Larché. Thank you to Teddy Xu, who is managing the show from behind, and thank you to you all for making time. Now your reward comes now in the form, of course, of our stretching moment with Jonathan, and then also an inspiring video, thought-provoking video put together by a Thai advertisement agency about old ways of working. And we've talked about the new ways. We should not forget that there is a lot of wisdom in the old ways of working. And I believe that you're going to be inspired by that video. We're going to watch it first, and then we'll have our stretching moment, and then we'll be on to great things. I wish you all the best. Thank you again for your loyalty to the program, and take care. Here we go with an inspiring video.
พี่รู้จัก New Normal ไหม New Normal พี่มีความเห็นไงกับอัตราการว่างงานที่เพิ่มขึ้นเงินเฟ้อ พี่รู้จักเงินเฟ้อไหมความเห็นน่ะความเห็นมึงเอาใครมาเนี่ย
พี่ยัดไม่รู้เรื่องอะไรเลย ถ้าจะรู้ ก็รู้แค่ถ้าตกงาน ต้องไปขอข้าวเขากิน รู้ว่าถ้าเป็นหนี้ก็ต้องใช้หนี้รู้ว่าอะไรเกิน อะไรจำเป็น อะไรคือความจริง พี่ยัดไม่รู้จริงๆว่าวิกฤตนี้จะจบเมื่อไหร่ จะยาวนานไปอีกแค่ไหน เขารู้แค่ว่า ต้นไม้จะยืนอยู่ได้ มันอยู่ที่ราก พี่ยัดจบป .4 เป็นแค่คนธรรมดา แต่เป็นคนที่ถามตัวเองว่าแท้จริงแล้ว เราคือใคร ควรจะทำอะไร กินแค่ไหน อยู่ยังไง ที่ให้เวลานอน แล้วมันหลับ แล้วชีวิตคุณต้องการอะไร
Hello everyone, welcome for the sixth video on how to reduce the negative impact of office syndrome. Today I'm going to present you the sixth exercise of our series. Today we are going to stretch the glutes. I'm going to use a chair to make sure I maintain my balance. And I'm going to bring my legs this way, open it, and I'm going to try to sit back by maintaining my back straight, okay? And I try to sit back as low as I can to really stretch the glute. I hold the position for a couple of seconds. I breathe deep, and then I come back, okay? On the other leg, so I bring my feet just above my knee. I open this other leg, and then I try to sit back as low as I can by maintaining my back straight. I hold it for a couple of seconds, and then I come back. I can go for a second round. Okay, so this way, I open my leg, and then I sit back. And I hold it for a couple of seconds. And then I come back. Second round on this second leg, open it, and then sit back. And come back. I hope you enjoyed this little exercise and see you in the next video for the following one.
What is coaching? Let me start with a story.
Would you like to be trained by one of the best coaches in the world? Would you like to bring out the best in others, improve performance, leadership skills, and behavior to motivate and inspire, and become a more effective leader yourself? Timeo-Performance has built the most effective learning experience you can imagine, and for the first time gives you access to the training expertise, insights, demonstrations, practical tips, and exclusive content from renowned global executive coach and trainer, Mr. Jean-Francois Cousin, a master certified coach, global speaker, internationally published author, and the 2019 chairman of the Global Board of the International Coach Federation. For the very first time, Jean-Francois Cousin is now ready to share his secrets from over 10,000 plus hours of coaching experience with the world.
I believe that there is a great coach within you, and I make it my mission to help you unleash it and at the same time become an even better leader. The insights, practical tips and tools that I've gathered over my more than 10,000 coaching hours experience will help you unleash the great coach within you. I will use a variety of pedagogical approaches. I will emphasize learning by doing, so you can rest assured that the more you involve yourself in this masterclass, the better the coach you will become and the more positive the difference you will make in your life and that of others. A warm welcome to my masterclass.
Take the decision right now to make a positive difference in your life and career by enrolling in this unique 100% online masterclass. Benefit from Jean-Francois's wise insights, demonstrations, and the many practical tips and templates that he will share with you, and unleash the great coach within.